Hello everyone, this is Pooka and welcome to another Pokemon TCG video. It's Bad Deck Monday, and our first Bad Deck Monday with the new set Furious Fist, so we have a lot of stuff to work with. The first deck I'm going to try out on Bad Deck Monday is going to be Politoed. So some people feel like this may have potential, I don't. King Song though, the ability on this Stage 2 Pokemon, ignore all colorless energy in the attack cost of each of your Poliwag, Poliwhirl, and Poliwrath's attacks. So we get to attack with all the other stages for free. Politoed just kind of has to sit on the bench though. So it's a really cool ability, but it is on a Stage 2. It takes up, part of the line that your attackers use, right? You have to use a Poliwag in order to get this Politoed in play, which means we have only 3 Poliwag left to attack with, but hey, we're going to try to have some fun with this. So obviously we need to look at the attacks of the rest of the Pokemon. So first is going to be Poliwag. Rain Splash doesn't really matter, but Spiral Current is kind of cool. Does 20, Confusion, and then the Pokemon can't retreat during your opponent's next turn. So this could be potentially useful to lock something in place for a turn. Maybe if they don't have a switch or something like that, it could be kind of cool. Of course, we get to use it for free when Politoed is in play. Then we have 4 Poliwhirl. So Poliwhirl actually has the strongest attack out of the 3 Pokemon. By that I mean does the most direct damage. Finishing Blow does 50 plus 50 if the defending Pokemon already has any damage counters on it. So that's going to be 100 damage if there's already damage on that Pokemon. So 100 for 0 is actually kind of cool. And then the last Pokemon is going to be Poliwrath. We only have 3 of these since, we need a Politoed in play. So 2 Politoed, 3 Poliwrath. But we have Steamroll, the attack we can use for free. 60, and then 30 to one of your opponent's benched Pokemon. So it's kind of like Xerneas EX's Breakthrough, but we get to use it for free when Politoed's in play. So kind of neat. We get to spread some damage. 140 HP Pokemon attacking for free. That's kind of cool. It also has Submission, 130 damage, and then 30 to itself. When Politoed is in play with that King Song, we only have to pay the 2 water. So for 2 water, we do 130 damage. That's not bad. Again, this is going to be a very slow deck, though. It's a Stage 2 setup deck, and we did lose quite a few tools from the rotation, right? Its boundaries crossed through Furious Fist now. That's going to go into effect, I believe, on September 1st, sometime in September that goes into effect, but that's what we're going to have to deal with. Namely, we lost things like Level Ball and Tropical Beach to help us set up, so we're going to have to change the deck up a little bit to try to deal with that. I feel like Stage 2 decks got hurt big time by the rotation, but hey, we'll see. Alright, so beyond the Poli line, we do have some other Pokemon in here. Now, we are all water and all weak to grass, so oh, that's not a grass, or it's not a... Never mind, we'll get back to him later. You didn't see that yet. Okay, so, yeah, we're all weak to grass, we're all water, so my stock solution to that is going to be Reshiram, using Outrage to hit those things like Virizion EX and Genesect EX. Not the most elegant solution in the world, but hey, sometimes it works, better than straight up losing. Right, we don't want to just get Emerald Slashed over and over and lose while we're doing minus 20 damage. Not good. Alright. One of the cool Pokemon in this deck is Celebi EX. Time Recall allows us to use previous stages attacks. So let's say we have a Poliwrath out here, but we really want to use that Finishing Blow on Poliwhirl. Well, if we have Celebi EX in play, we can still do that. Just gives you more options. Now, something that hasn't been decided yet is whether or not, if we have Celebi EX, can we use King Song to use a lower stages attack for free? I mean, it's kind of confusing, right? It does say ignore all colorless energy in the attack cost of each of your Poliwag, Poliwhirl, and Poliwrath's attacks. So, if we're going to use Poliwhirl's attack with Time Recall, Poliwhirl's attacks, colorless energy would be ignored, perhaps, but then the other side says, no, it's a Politoed. Politoed's attacks aren't reduced. So I think the verdict is still out on that one. I'm not quite sure. Maybe someone can fill me in if they've made an official ruling on that yet, but potentially more coolness with the Politoed line and Celebi EX. Okay. Other Pokemon we got a sneak peek at the Mewtwo. Can never really go wrong with this guy. X-Ball, yada yada, pretty good. Now, without Tropical Beach, we need something to help draw cards. And my solution for now will be Electrode, Magnetic Draw, Draw T, have 4. Again, not the most elegant solution to our problem, but there's not much better. Another option could be something like Delphox, but it's a stage 2. I don't want to get that into play. Too clunky. We'll go with Electrode for now. Now, another line I threw in here that probably doesn't make any sense is going to be Fortress. So Fortress has the ability Thorn Tempest. When you play it from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon, you can put a damage counter on each of your opponent's Pokemon. Now, why in the world would I do this? Well, it has a nice combo here with Finishing Blow. Right, if we used Thorn Tempest to put a damage counter on everything, and then Finishing Blow, we're doing 100 instead of 50. Not quite sure if this is worth the bench spot yet, but hey, it seemed cool at the time. Alright. Now, again, we lost Level Ball. That's going to make it so much tougher to get our basics into play. So I'm going to be trying out Pokemon Fan Club. It's a supporter. Get to search for 2 basic Pokemon, put them into your hand. Now, I really wish this was like Pokemon Collector or even the really old Hoenn Mentor that only lets you grab a Pokemon with 100 HP or less. That would be pretty cool. Both of those cards allowed you to grab 3 basics. This one only allows you to grab 2. Feel like it's a little watered down, but we're going to try it anyway, since there's no great way to search for basic Pokemon outside of Ultra Ball, which gets really costly. We also have 4 Juniper, 3 N, 3 Chorus, and then we have a computer search as well, just to help out with setting up and whatnot. 1 Lysander is always pretty good. And then we do have the 3 Ultra Ball. We're also going to be running a couple Evo Soda, just to evolve all of our Pokemon. We have 2 Rare Candy. I don't feel like we need to max out on Rare Candy in a deck like this, since we have so many Poliwrath. 2 Startling Megaphone, because Garbodor puts a big damper on our whole deck. 2 Switch, just to switch. 3 Muscle Band, just to add some additional damage. We could do Silver Bangle as well, but just going to throw in some Muscle Bands here. 1 Sacred Ash will allow us to recover our Pokemon. Of course, Super Rod rotates out as well, so we won't have that anymore, just Sacred Ash. But it's really good for shuffling in a lot of the Poli line. And I think that's about it. Our energy is actually pretty low, 4 DCE, 4 water. And that's just because a lot of the time we don't even use energy to attack. Okay, most of this energy is going to be towards using Reshiram and Mewtwo, and maybe Submission every once in a while with Poliwrath, but most of the time we're going to be using Steamroll, Finishing Blow, and if we're really desperate, Spiral Current. But here we go, the Poli deck. The first Bad Deck Monday deck with Furious Fists. Again, I do not feel like this deck is competitive whatsoever, and this game will probably show you why. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get started here, and actually we have a beautiful starting hand. We have Poliwag, Voltorb, Pineco, Pokemon Fan Club to search for more Poliwag, Computer Search, Rare Candy, oh my goodness. What else could we ask for here? This is so good. Alright, so we're going to Pokemon Fan Club, and right off the bat we do see a Poliwag as prize, along with the Mewtwo EX, which I wish I had since my opponent is opening up with a Mewtwo EX. But we're going to go ahead and bench all 4 of those Pokemon, pass the turn, and feel pretty good about the situation we're in. Alright, we have Computer Search, Rare Candy, and even a Juniper to boot. So this is all looking very good right now. My opponent's going to play a Skyla for Ultra Ball for a Squirtle, and it looks like just going to pass the turn. So Blastoise, another deck that gets slowed down quite a bit by the rotation, again, losing Level Ball, losing Tropical Beach, but we'll have to see if these Stage 2 decks can survive. I do have the Computer Search. Unfortunately, I have to discard a Poliwhirl to do that. I would have liked to top deck a useless card to just discard, but hey, we're going to go ahead and rare candy into Politoed right away. And we do have an Evo soda as well, so we can go ahead and do that. I got a water energy, just going to plop it down on the bench, Poliwag. And, oh no. Oh no! Alright, so we had to discard the first Poliwhirl, and then looks like 2 more are prized. So now we know in our prizes we have Poliwag, Mewtwo, and 2 Poliwhirl. It's going to be a little difficult to win here. Oh boy. Also, didn't see Electrode, so that is prize number 5. So 5 of our Pokemon are prized. I wonder what prize number 6 is. Not really sure. But what a ridiculous set of Pokemon to have prized. This is going to be an uphill battle. Alright, so we do see the Blastoise coming out, but again, this deck is going to be a lot slower without the old tropical beach and whatnot, so just has to pass after getting the Blastoise into play. My opponent only has 1 card, so I do not wish to play an N here to give my opponent 6 cards. So I'm going to go with the Finishing Blow, which ironically does not finish off Mewtwo, only does 100 damage. And that will be that. Juniper from my opponent also had a Shauna, so looks like Supporter was in hand. No matter what, maybe the N wouldn't have been so bad there, but I still don't like giving an opponent 6 cards when they only have 1. Would have been cool to grab a Muscle Band, but nope. And now we are in some trouble. Okay. So, Keldeo rushes in and uses Secret Sword. I'm going to promote Pineco here. And N, so we can go ahead and get a fresh 6. If I got a Muscle Band here, I would love to just ram for 80 damage. That would be so cool. Ramming with my Pineco for 80, but it looks like I have whiffed. And indeed, 2 Poliwhirl are prized. So I'm going to go for the Fortress. We're going to use the Thorn Tempest, put 1 damage counter on everything. That Mewtwo is lucky surviving just barely. And then Iron Crash for 60. Now this actually works out to set up the Keldeo to be knocked out by a Finishing Blow. If I happen to draw the Sacred Ash and then get another Poliwhirl into play, we can Finishing Blow for the knockout. So this is some nice mathematics working out on our side. The Keldeo in range for a Finishing Blow knockout. And then Mewtwo on the bench is always in range for a Steamroll if we happen to get Poliwrath in play. But what the? Scoop Up Cyclone? What? Who plays that? Oh my goodness. So that's going to reset everything here and kind of ruin my day. Scoop Up Cyclone picks up the Keldeo and all the cards. And my opponent gets to just drop them right back down. Well, we're back to square one with a Keldeo EX that we cannot really knock out. Beautiful. So we're going to go ahead and promote the old Poliwag. Evo Soda, cool, can't really use it. And still no Sacred Ash, no Rare Candy, and Poliwrath. So after the N, we're going to go for the mighty Spiral Current. So this is going to do 40, Confuse, and my opponent cannot retreat. And my opponent does bench another Mewtwo, filling up the bench. The whole point of my N there was to try to prevent a second Keldeo EX from coming down, since, of course, Spiral Current prevents retreating. But my opponent pretty much did the job for me, filling the bench. Now I don't have to worry about another Keldeo rushing in. So my opponent actually too scared to attack, passes the turn. Poliwag getting in there for some big old damage. Oh yeah, alright. So Colress for 8 nets me a lot of junk, which I didn't need. And now I'm going to have to just Spiral Current again. We're going to power up the Politoed on the bench, setting up for whatever its attack is, Hyper Voice, I think. That will knock out Keldeo next turn for 70, so we do have a knockout lined up. It's just after that I'm not really sure what to do. And we'll see if my opponent decides to go for the Secret Sword this turn. If heads, it's going to put me in a bit of a pickle. You know, down 2 Poliwag, going to have to attack with a Politoed. Third Poliwag prized. Just not pretty no matter how you look at it. So here comes another Blastoise energy onto the Miltank on the bench. And this is going to be a big turn. Oop, okay, there's a Juniper. That's not going to help me either. So fresh hand of 7 for the opponent. And I'm just trying to figure out how in the world are we going to win this game. There's another Keldeo EX, so you can see filling the bench definitely backfired on my opponent. And Tails on the confusion! Oh man, Poliwag coming in big. Oh yeah. Alright, so, oh my goodness. So I have a Juniper here. I would really prefer not to attack with that Politoed. That seems bad. So I'm going to go ahead and Ultra Ball, see what we got in here. There is a Poliwrath left in my deck. Even though I'll have to Juniper away 2 of them, I will have 1 left. There's always the Sacred Ash we could get, so I guess I'm going to Juniper this turn and try to get lucky hitting that Rare Candy and Poliwrath. Or at least a Sacred Ash plus an Evo Soda could finishing blow and knock out Keldeo. I really just don't want to put my Politoed in harm's way. He's kind of the heart of the deck. So here we go. Juniper and... oh, hey. All right. Rare Candy, Poliwrath. Here we go. Got the big guy in play. Now it's time. Oh, check it out. So we're going to go ahead and steamroll, knock out Keldeo, and boom, knock out Mewtwo as well for a 4-prize knockout. Oh my goodness. And wow, look at those prizes we just got. Poliwag, Poliwhirl, Mewtwo, and I think Muscle Band was the last one. That means we have Electrode and Poliwhirl left in the prizes. Electrode would have been nice, you know, to prevent getting destroyed by N. And my opponent's saying I screwed up. Should have scooped up Mewtwo instead of Keldeo. Filled the bench, saying, oh my goodness, I gave this game away. And, well, I don't know what to say to that. Oh no, saying you should never lose to the Poliwag deck. Oh, how embarrassing. I kind of agree, nobody should ever lose to this. Alright, so, we see a Professor's Letter and another Keldeo EX coming down on the board. And a Russian and a Chorus for 8 cards. So we're not out of the woods yet. Still have to find a way to take 2 more prizes, which is easier said than done, right? Here is the Secret Sword with the Muscle Band, getting a knockout on the Poliwrath, and now I really don't have much good going on here. I guess we promote Politoed here and attack with it. That seems like the best thing to do. We'll go ahead and play that Startling Megaphone, getting rid of the Muscle Band. And then bench my buddy Mewtwo EX, just getting all prepared for an X-Ball in the future, perhaps. Could be a good thing to do. And let's see. I'm very tempted to go with the Time Recall and use Spiral Current again. That is so tempting beyond belief. You know, if my opponent doesn't have another Keldeo, it's just kind of stuck there, and I'll probably just be able to X-Ball it next turn for the game, but I feel like Hyper Voice may be a better option here. I'm doing 90, setting up the Keldeo for a knockout, so if it wants to attack again, it's just going to get knocked out by Mewtwo. So this seems like the best thing to do. If a Lysander comes out and Mewtwo gets knocked out on the bench, we'll still be able to Hyper Voice for the knockout. So this seems like the best play. Spiral Current would be the best play if I knew my opponent had no more ways to switch. So there's something interesting there. If I know my opponent is out of Keldeo, then I would Spiral Current, probably. Just kind of trap it there. But since I don't know that, we're going to Hyper Voice for 90 and hope for the best and say, haha, I actually attacked with Politoed. Go figure. And Miltank's going to come out for a powerful Friends, but at this point, I see there's already the 10 on the Miltank from the Thorn Tempest earlier, so we can actually use that Poliwhirl that in my hand, and finishing blow to knock out Miltank. What? And oh, my opponent just concedes. Seeing the writing on the wall, can't dodge the Poliwrath train. Can't dodge the Poli train. Let's not sell everybody short here. Politoed, Poliwrath, Poliwhirl, Poliwag. They all did their job here. Every one of them attacked. And Mewtwo just sat back and looked pretty. Fortress even got in the game. So that is just an awesome, awesome game on Bad Deck Monday. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will have some more for you soon. I am Pooka from the Top Cut, and I will see you guys next time.